Welcome back to the Only Points podcast with your host, Eddie Mercado, Alexis Martinez, and your boy, Eddie Garcia. Now, welcome back, everybody. I know it's been a long ass time. I'm super excited, you guys. I'm super excited to be here again. Super excited to see these lovely faces, these beasts over here. We got a few updates, you guys. It's been how long has it been, you guys? A month?
About like 3 weeks.
3 weeks to a
Three to
month?
4 weeks, yeah.
Shame on you guys. Shame. So let's go over some quick updates. Alexis, let's start it off with you, man. How you been? How you been?
Yes, I mean, like the last time that I think we spoke was again, 3 to 4 weeks. But then before that, we had like some more updates, just that we couldn't record our episode, right? Like we wanted to shoot an episode of our own because before, like we spoke, like let's say 3 weeks ago, we hadn't updated like our viewers as to what we were doing like that past month. So like we have like 2 months of updates and stuff like that, but honestly, like lots of things have happened these past 2 months, and overall, like I don't want to be like negative, but like not a lot of good things have happened. Like the main thing being, that I got injured like during my game. So why that matters is because that like brings down like my workflow. So basically, like when I was playing soccer in one of my games, what ended up happening was that I was making a play or trying to go for the ball, and I was running, and I think in order to get that ball, I needed to do like some sort of like quick turn or some sudden turn. And on that play, I think I put too much pressure on my right foot. And when I put a lot of pressure on that right foot, what ended up happening was that I heard a pop. I felt a pop, and because of that, like I felt pain right away, and I fell to the floor. I was lying on my stomach in pain, like grabbing my knee, like holding myself, etc. And I was lying there for like a minute or two. Like I literally, like I tried to like roll over to my back so that I was lying on my back. I couldn't do it. Like I legit could not like roll myself over to my back. Like I was in that much pain. So I was like sitting there for like a couple of minutes. Once I managed to get help from like my teammates to like walk off the field, like kind of walk off, limp off, in other words. Yeah, I mean, like from then on, it hurt to walk. I could barely put any pressure on my foot. Otherwise, it hurt really bad. So that whole night, like it hurt to walk. I I needed to like take like I park on the street like when I get home. So I couldn't find a parking like right across like my place. So it was a struggle like to get out of my car to walk home. It was just a big struggle, and uh, right now I'm okay. There's still like times where like it hurts, but for the most part I can walk. I just like I can't run. I can't really go downstairs because like when you put pressure on my right knee, it hurts. So that's the main thing right now that I'm dealing with, and why that matters is because that also affects my workouts, right? So I can't do leg day. I can't really do deadlifts either. Anything that involves me putting any sort of pressure on my knee, I have to be careful, or like really like dumb down the weights. So it's kind of tragic, because us as entrepreneurs, we like to keep our fitness, we like to be fit, and that's affecting me. And so like for the most part, like I'm only doing like bench pressing, push day every time I go to the gym. So that kind of gets boring, but it's something that I have to deal with right now. So that's kind of like the main major bad news. And on top of that, like just bunch of things that have like been putting me down. Like I ate like this random weird food from like some sketchy Mexican place. Like in hindsight, I shouldn't have, but I did it anyways. And it just like that food did heavy damage to me, and like that like kind of made me sick, and like it brought down my energy level. So like I'm not gonna lie to you, like my these past 2 months have been like pretty bad, like energy wise, like because of things like my injury, not feeling well, etc. Like productivity has been down, but like I'm on recovery, getting better, so things are looking good or improving rather. And what else? What else? Uh,
Alexis, don't lie, bro. You never hit leg days, anyways. No, we see you, bro. Come on. No, I'm just messing with you, but
I was gonna say I have when I was 6 years of age, I was introduced to the best sobadora that can cure anything, including
oh yeah, I remember that.
if you want to if you would like me to make the introduction, you just gotta say the word.
yeah, so I mean, I actually went to go see a Salvador, but honestly, like I just don't feel like they're good, or they might be good, but I just feel like the one time that I did go, I feel he didn't do much, like I felt he
Gotta go
just
to a
like
witch doctor.
a Salvador, not an actual doctor, but
No, I'm no like yeah, I get what you're saying, but you need to go to like a legit witch doctor that need to freaking bathe you in sage or something, because
exactly. So I might need to hit up your plug, but the one time that I did go with one, no, it didn't work for me, honestly. And what else? What else? Any other updates for me? I have a concert that's coming up. Like the unfortunate thing is that you guys will talk about it, like, because it's your event, but it's coming up at the end of the month, and it's for Rebelde RBD. I'm sure you guys have heard of them. Like
Yeah.
I grew up, like watching their episodes, their music, big fan of their music. And when they announced earlier this year that they're gonna get together, reunite, I'm like, you know what, I gotta go see them. And sure enough, I did. I got tickets. Actually, for myself only. I want to make it a solo trip, so I'll be going over there, and I'm not gonna see them in LA. Actually, it's gonna be in New York. So I
nice.
decided, like, you know what, go watch them at Madison Square Garden, and that's a plan. So unfortunately, it is gonna fall down on your guys' event, August 30th, and for me, that those are my updates. So I'll let you guys talk about the event and your guys' updates.
For
Perfect.
sure, for sure.
I it's actually kind of crazy that we just discovered how big of a fan you are of Rebelde versus Taylor Swift, because she every single day you were in search of tickets for T Swizzy, but it's glad that you're here for the culture, for our culture and everything like that. I'll go ahead and proceed with my updates. So, for starters, completely moved out from the apartment that I was with. I moved in with the homies, lovely people, love their place. I feel right at home. I'm in their room. I'm in my room. Business has been all right, kind of slowed down a little bit, but doesn't matter. Finally, as you guys may know, finally got my Instagram back. My original page, which is probably something that you guys might have forgotten about, but I definitely got my Instagram back. Uh, in case I sound a little cranky, I'm getting over a cold as of recently. Should be good. Should be good. And then
And we learned our lesson. No more making fun of cars and coffees, right?
no more what?
No more making fun of cars and coffee, right?
No more cards and coffee.
Yep, no more of that. Wait,
No.
what's the joke? Cars
Your
and coffee.
Instagram.
The guy
Oh
that took down
yes.
your Instagram.
Oh, true facts. But the thing is, like, the person that helped me get my Instagram back was actually worked for. Well, you can't say anything. I just got my Instagram back. I rebutted it. Been reading books. It's actually kind of crazy. I'd love to share this. It's Limitless by Jim Quick. Jim Quick was actually somebody that I heard about years ago, back when I was like probably in high school. And I always told myself, I really want to study this person, but never truly got the chance to. I saw like an ad or something like that. So ads definitely work. Decided to order the book, and I wanted the physical copy versus the audio just because at the moment I do have that extra free time. Now, what that book teaches is when reading it, you learn how to learn, just super important. It teaches you how to read faster. Not that this isn't that obviously, but reading it, I did read that some of the biggest leaders in the world read a book a week, and I literally asked myself, like, how is that even possible? It's not. So I actually had the wrong attitude. It's not about how they can do it. I should have been asking myself, how can I do it? Because this book truly was around 280, 285 pages long. And I did it in approximately 10 days, which is about a week and a half. Now, if I had the dedication and that kind of stuff, the drive, I definitely had the time. I could have done it in under a week, so that is something I am definitely going to look forward to. Not necessarily saying I'm going to be reading a book a week, but at least 2, 3 books a month, you know? So if you guys have any book recommendations, please comment them down below, especially why you think I should read it. Uh, I know there's like Art of War. There's a bunch of really good books out there. Just
Yep.
please know Think and Grow Rich, because I didn't like it personally. As
I
far
was
as my
gonna say that.
Think and Grow Rich, I'm good. The book was stupid, or perhaps and maybe my mind wasn't mature enough for me to be able to pick up on
Right.
what message or crap.
Mm.
So, and probably like maybe like 4 or 5 months of me doing this, I might give it another shot. I might come back and like change my mind. But there's that. As far as that book goes, out to
No,
downtown.
the reason why I was gonna tell you that book is because that's like the most popular, one of the most popular ones that everybody talks about. Or I was gonna say like Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah, which funny enough, I believe I said this before. I haven't ever read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, but I have been told that it seems like you've already read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. And I was like, why do you say that? They're like, oh, because you act on like what he's
The
teaching you.
principles.
Yeah, the principles, which is funny enough. I actually haven't read the book. I don't plan on it either. I could, maybe, perhaps, and maybe, but there's that. As far as my health is great. Been Obama been lifting, you know.
Uh-huh.
I've been lifting. We been getting stronger every single week as far as my gut goes. Uh, like health is strong. Gut is strong. I should be doing tests, stool samples and blood work. Uh, Stool test and blood work, guys, I'm serious. Get those done every 6 months. In essence, if you guys are taking vitamins, a lot of it is placebo. This is coming from me, my background, of course, biological science. I actually got my major. Almost done with my master's, by the way, out here in Las Vegas. Just kidding. Oh, as far as everything goes, a lot of it is placebo. And the reason why I say that is because you don't actually have a way for you to calculate or to know how much more of this vitamin or mineral you are actually consuming, or how much it's helping you, unless you can actually trace it back or compare it. So I should be getting those tests done later this month. It takes approximately 2 to 3 weeks in order for me to get my results back. So there's that. And sold my box truck literally today. Sold my box truck, got some weight off my shoulders, made more than what I sold it for. So that's a plus. I got to use it for what I needed it, obviously, which was to move, just a couple jobs, this and that. And I'm just gonna like end it there just because I can keep rambling. But I am so excited to hear about the homie Eddie Garcia's updates. We already heard about Mr. Credit Jacker over here. So lastly, I'll pass on the torch.
Yeah, man, thank you. So, quite a few points. I mean, I know there's been a lot of stuff that's been happening, but I want to keep it concise as well. Quick checkup on you guys, like we always do. Health. Health, like I said, is one of the most important thing. It is the most important thing as an entrepreneur. The healthier you are, the more people you can impact, right? So, with that being said, sleep, exercise, and nutrition are the key. As you guys know me, especially these guys, they know me for years now. They know, like, especially last year, I didn't know what sleep was, never had sleep, didn't believe in sleep. I thought it was a fantasy, never heard of it, right? So but however, after doing a lot of hearing a lot of other entrepreneurs, fellow entrepreneurs, and doctors and stuff like that, obviously, I knew that sleep was a big crucial thing that I needed to start taking seriously, because I would regret it in the future. So thankfully, like last year, I bought an Aura ring, right? I wear it every single day, and I keep track of my sleep. And I can say that I've been consistently going to sleep at a certain time, and so much so that I created a on my company, I have an Eddie's accountability Slack channel where every single day I must submit my time, the day like my a screenshot of my Aura ring status of when I went to sleep, when I woke up, when I go to the gym, and my weigh-ins. That way, my team knows that, hey, I'm holding myself to the highest standards. If I'm telling my team, make sure you get good sleep, make sure you go to the gym, make sure you eat healthy, make sure you do all X, Y, and Z. But if I don't do it, then I'm a hypocrite, right? So I've been doing that consistently for 2, 3 weeks now. Been sending that to them. I've been doing the whole sleep cycle and exercise consistently for many months now, though. With the exercise, I've been, you guys, I've been going to the gym consistently 3 to 4 times a week. And actually, I just picked up boxing. So last Saturday, I had a little bit of free time while I was waiting for an appointment. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to this boxing gym since I've always wanted to go. It's been on my calendar or my task list to go check it out. And I went, dude, this is how entrepreneurs think. Look at this. I went to that boxing gym, and there was 2 hours before they closed. I had some regular white shoes, not like running shoes or anything, just regular white sneakers. I had ripped jeans. I had a polo shirt on. I show up, yo, what's up? Hey, how much does it cost how much does all this cost? Oh, well, here's our monthly membership. Here is how much for classes. Here much is just if you just want a day pass. And today's Saturday, so the coach is just here, just training whoever's here, and he can guide you and give you some lessons. Beautiful. And there's only 2 hours left. They're like, would you like to join today? Would you like to like try out the day today? Of course I said yes. Take action. I was not prepared. I was not ready. I was not expecting it, but fuck it. I said yes. Take initiative. I could have been like, oh no, put excuses. I'm not ready. I can't start now, right? But I didn't. So I was like, fuck it. Are you guys sell shorts? Do you guys sell a shirt? Do you guys sell this, this, and that? I was like, fuck it. I bought everything on the spot then, paid for the daily membership, for the daily pass. I went in, the coach started teaching me how to wear these things, put the gloves on, the wraps on my hands, and started teaching basic movements. And so immediately I fell in love with it. I thought it was really, really cool. So if you guys saw my Instagram post on Saturday, you would have seen like I was, doing the speed bag and all that stuff. I immediately like when I left, I immediately like started going on Amazon, ordered everything that I needed to order. It's all sitting over here, and every single day I was able to talk to my dad. I was like, hey, as a father bonding, because my dad loves boxing. I was like, hey, since I don't have that much time to spend time with you anymore, like I would like it if you were to train me. My dad is 70 years old, right? Like he can't really train me that well, but it's a great way for me to be able to, spend time with my dad, because you never know when God has a plan, or something happens. So actually our relationship has been getting better even just this week alone, just because of that. So I'm super, super excited on that. Next thing. Oh, and the last thing I want to say, the reason why I picked up boxing, because first it's for your health, and second of all, I believe that every man's responsibility is to be able to physically take care of the people that they love, and that is, financially, emotionally, and physically, right? So thank God, I've never been in a fight. I've never had to resort to violence. However, I never want to catch myself lacking in that department the day that arrives that I need to defend my daughter, my wife, my loved ones, So definitely something that I want to become a lethal weapon. That's what I wrote on Instagram, right? Besides health, my company, Sky Credit Enterprise, is going even better than ever, to be honest with you. I actually this for almost a month or two, I've been focusing religiously every single day on doing a morning meeting for 1 to 2 hours with my entire team. Why? Because I need to motivate them. A lot of my employees are VAs, Filipinos, and they have a completely different mindset because they come from a different type of culture, and they don't have the type of mindset that Eddie and Alexis have, right? The entrepreneur spirit, the hungry mentality, the like, if I believe whatever I can do is and achieve, I can definitely do it, right? They don't have that mentality. They have the mentality of like, hey, shut up, don't say anything, do your work, don't say anything, right? Don't go up and beyond, just shut the fuck up, don't put your head up, right? So they're just worker bees that they like doing that. But in reality, that's not what ideal for a company. You need people who are problem solvers, take initiative, take action, right? And that's really hard because if it's a culture thing, it's super hard to change their entire like perspective. It's like me trying to tell Eddie Mercado that the sky is purple when all his life for 26 years of his life is like, no, motherfucker, I knew something else, right? So it's really, really hard, even though, like, hey, believe in yourself. It doesn't cost you anything physically, but it is such an emotion, or it's such a mentality shift that it's really hard for people to be able to do. And recently, I've been making major groundworks on doing that. And I like even this week alone so far. Today is Wednesday. Man, the character development out of my team has astonished me so fucking much. I've been super proud with what a few of my teams have been, actually almost every single member of my team now has been able to accomplish. The reason that I actually came to this is because I had to let go of someone. I had to fire someone. And I really want to quickly talk about this. Like I mentioned earlier, I do a morning meeting every single day from 9 a.m. to like 10:30. Sometimes it goes to 11 because we cover a lot of things. Well, I had this employee named Sue. Sue was also the HR manager of the office where I hire my VAs from. So if you guys don't know, you guys can go to the Philippines, find someone who has an office, who owns a VA, a virtual assistant facility where they train and hire VAs on your behalf, and then they have the office, they have the internet, the computers, they have everything set up there for the VAs, right? So I was hiring this team through a company called ACS in the Philippines. Sue not only worked for me directly for Sky Crane Enterprise, but she also worked for ACS as an HR manager. So technically, she was also the boss out of all my employees, right? Through ACS. Now, because of that, she had power that other ones didn't, right? And she started abusing that power months in advance, right? So what happened? I did not find this out until Friday, like a few days ago, less than a week ago. What would happen was that every single day she'll clock in, come to the morning meeting. When the morning meeting was ended, she would go to her, like, because they also have like living quarters there. She'll go to sleep for like 4 or 5 hours and then come back, go to the computer, clock, put a break, be like, oh, I'm gonna go take my break now. Go ahead and take another full hour break, come back and work for another 1 or 2 hours and then clock out. Right? So and this is my director of treasury, and she was the director for client success. And it's fucking ironic that the person in charge of my client success was sleeping on the job, literally and metaphorically. And I didn't know this. I had no idea. This came to be because finally one brave soul finally said, you know what? Hey, is there anything else you guys want to tell me? Because this is what happened. We did team member evaluations. I did team member evaluations for everybody. And I told them everybody's strengths, everybody's weaknesses. And I even paired them with people, be like, hey, you have this strength. This person has that weakness. Work together. That way you can help this person out with their weakness because that is your strength. Well, when on the morning call, I told everybody, hey, this is everybody's strength, this is everybody's weakness. And when it came to Sue, I realized that there was a whole shift of the vibe out of the entire meeting, because I was telling people like, hey, I know Sue because I met her in person when I was there for 3 months. She's a hard worker, blah, blah, blah. She's working ACS as an HR manager, and as mine, like, hey, she must be very stressed out. So please help her out, like this, and that. And Sue did not even look at the camera to look up. It looked like she was ashamed. And everybody was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? So I was like, this is weird. Well, anyways, at the end of the call, someone actually finally said, hey, I just wanted to say that I feel like there's someone here in the company that is not they're not pulling their part. It's not fair for this person and that person because these two people actually worked their asses off, and those two people were Juliet and Harold. But this other person doesn't. I was like, oh, is there? So I said, do you want me to tell me in person, or do you want to say it now in front of everybody and see who agrees with you? She said she ended up saying it was Sue. I started asking other people in the call and be like, hey, do you guys feel the same? What was that?
This in front of everybody?
Yeah, on in front of the yeah.
Wow, let's fucking go.
Yeah, yeah. So I went, so everybody started saying Sue. I was like, okay, okay, stop, everybody. Let's do this. Juliet, I want everybody to send you. Who do you think? Who like I told everybody, I want you guys to write who do you think is not pulling their weight in this company and write the reasons why. And then send it to Juliet. Juliet, you're gonna remove the names of who sent them to you, and you're gonna send them to me anonymously. And I don't know who said what. And then after reading, it was basically the same thing. Sue, as soon as she got out of the morning meeting, she went to sleep for 4 or 5 hours, didn't do shit. She would then also, because she was the HR manager, she was in charge of payroll and attendance. So when somebody showed up late for 15 minutes, oh, you're late, right? You're written up, right? You're sleeping on the job. You like, dude, she was accusing the other team members for doing what she was doing, right? So I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me right now. So I got on a call with Sue 101. I had to fire her. She admitted, like, once she admitted that she was doing that, I was like, okay, it's over. I have to let you go. Because here's the thing, you guys listen to this part. As a leader, as an owner of a business, as an entrepreneur, you have to lead by example. If I had not fired her, trust me, I didn't want to fire her because I liked her. You know, this is someone that helped me build the company. If I didn't fire, no one would have respected me. None of the other team members would have, because what am I telling everybody by letting her keep her job? I'll be literally telling everybody that that's okay, that type of behavior, it's okay in my company. And so I had to be like, you know what? As much as this pains me, I have to let you go. I do not want you to be part of Skycraft Enterprise anymore. I cannot have you. I cannot tolerate that type of behavior. And guess what? Everybody's morale fucking like shot up because they were so scared of telling me. Because if they told me, they all risked their job because they could have just like Sue could have just fired them, right? Just for petty reasons. And then probably the next day they would have just told me some bullshit like oh yeah, she wanted to quit, or we found some stupid shit about this person, right? Not knowing the situation, but since I did that, literally they felt like holy shit, I have their backs. And I told them, look, I hope that this teaches you guys that I have your guys' back. I respect every single one of you guys that fucking gives 100% into this company, and I would not tolerate where any one person, I don't care what position they're in or who the fuck they are, if they're not giving their 100% and they're bringing you guys down, I'm getting rid of them because there's bonuses, there's incentives. When somebody's not pulling their weight, it makes it harder for everybody else. And then no matter how hard they try, they're not going to get their bonus. So you guys, I told them, you guys got to think about it like they're stealing food away from your mouth. Like they're stealing your bread. They're stealing, like I told you. So this is what I had them do. I had them all write why they're fucking here. Who's counting on them? You know, what is their purpose? What is the life goal? And I've even told them, write down how much is financial freedom. How much money do you need to be financially free and take care of everybody that you love and want and do whatever the fuck you want? Dude, the highest one was $2,500 a month.
USD?
Yeah, USD. But here's the thing. My directors for funding $1 million, which that is the bare minimum goal every single month, their bonus for each one of them is $1,000. So literally, that is like half of their plus payroll, right? And then here's the other thing. The other thing is that is the bare minimum bonus that we're that's the first goal. Then we're going to be achieving $1 million weeks, right? That means they're going to be getting $1,000 as bonus every single week, right? So it's like you guys got to realize that if someone is not being conducive to the goal, to the company, they got to get the fuck out of here. And I will fight for you guys. And I even told them, fucking get your guys' computers ready at home. If they let you guys go, if they fire you guys, I'm fucking like suing those assholes. Like I'm suing ACS if they fucking try to do anything shady to you guys, right? So yeah, so the morale of my company, of the people who are left, just skyrocketed. And I told them, like, this is what I expect. And the last thing I told them was, at the end of the day, you guys know whose fault this was? And I said, not mine. But I told them, yeah, theirs. Yes, exactly. I know what you're trying to say. But for the viewers at home, we practice extreme ownership here. And this is what I told them. At the end of the day, you are the ones who allow people to treat you how they treat you, right? So the reason why she got away with so much power is because it took you guys this long to stand up for yourselves again, right? So I told them, like, do not, like, again, in any relation, whether it's your parents, whether it's your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, your friends, your business partners, if you allow them to treat you a certain way, you are reinforcing the ideology that type of behavior is okay with you, right? So no matter what it is, and this is just not like, I don't care what it is. Like, and I told them, if you guys not speaking up and not telling me was never the correct answer. Why? Because first of all, if I'm a bad boss and I don't give a fuck, and I tell you, hey, figure it out, I don't care, we'll just quit and go find a better job. That's not the type of work environment you should be in, period. Second of all, if you tell me and I'm a bad boss again and I fire you, good. Again, same deal. Go find a better job, right? Because clearly I wouldn't be the correct person to work for. Now, if it was the other way around, like which it is, right? I'm a good boss. I listen to you guys and I respect the people who stand up, right, for what's right. Then I would stick up for you guys. And if they were to fire you, guess what? I would hire you guys outside of ACS. You guys will make more money, right? From working from home is going to be way better. So no matter what the fuck happens, it's going to be a win situation, no matter what. Always sticking up for yourself is always going to be the best case scenario. So I'm super happy because of what happened, because now they're taking fucking massive action. They're taking massive action. And they're like literally believing in themselves now. And I've seen this like mentality shift now for the first time, like after like 2 months of like daily morning meetings of mindset. Bro, I've been reading them this fucking book every single day. If you guys can see that, it's 177 mental toughness secrets of the world class. It literally talks about what's the type of mentality champions have. And it's filled with great quotes from people who've like Coach Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, or people like huge entrepreneurs and stuff like that. And it talks about what is the type of behaviors that most champions exhibit consistently, right? So Sky Credit Enterprise is fucking doing phenomenal. And like Eddie mentioned, the next thing I'm going to cover is the networking event that we're having in Las Vegas. You guys got to come through, check our social medias. We're going to be hosting networking events at La Neta in Las Vegas on August 30th. We will be presenting, each host is going to be presenting something. I'm going to be revealing, so I'm going to be educating you guys a lot about how credit applications work. And then at the end of the presentation, I'm going to give an exclusive deal to a beta release product that I've been working on for months. It is my personal credit mastery course, where I'm literally combining the entire knowledge I've learned from multiple business partners, mentors, fake gurus, everything. Like everything you guys will know. You guys will know everything that's 100%, everything that is, what is that term you always say? Pork, Alexis?
Chinese pork.
Chinese pork, everything that is fucking fake, like fake leather shit, all that shit. You guys are gonna learn about it, okay? Everything. You guys will learn everything. You guys are gonna learn some fucking shit that probably a lot of people don't even talk about. So, with that being said, and you guys will get, it's gonna be attached with a community, and I'm gonna give it at the lowest price I will probably ever give it at. Okay, so if you guys want access to that, to a community where like fucking, where the truth is being told and where just hustlers are gonna be at, please go to the networking event, reach out to us, because I'll be releasing that personal credit mastery course that I've been working on for months.
Let me go ahead and acknowledge that real quick because I do know that a couple people from New York, Florida, and a couple of my boys from California do watch our podcast, and unfortunately, they don't have the means, funds, or just availability to just pull up on a Wednesday because I believe, if I am correct, this does fall on a Wednesday because let's just say it, people work 95s Monday through Friday. What can you do for those people that still want your exclusive beta on that Wednesday, but actually cannot show up? Is there anything? And this isn't planned. I'm like literally barely hearing about this too.
No, yeah, I know. This is the first time I'm even telling anybody about it. But yeah, so this is what's gonna happen. Actually, so one of my companies, Threefolds Project, which is a social media management company, I'm gonna flying out my business partner. We're gonna be recording the entire event. So the entire event is gonna be recorded, and then we're gonna either put it up as a webinar, and then people can go ahead either purchase it, or I'll probably put it for free, and then I'll still run the exclusive deal for a certain period of time. So
Awesome.
so yeah, so or if you guys just want to reach out to me, I'll let you guys know when it drops. I'm going to be creating a list, right, of capturing leads of everybody that is interested in it, and then releasing the course.
Perfect.
Yep. So those are my updates. That's what's been going on with me. Actually, kind of quite opposite from the two of you. I think it's I'm taking, even though as many people may think like, oh, I fired something, that's a loss. No, fucking, like, you guys got to realize that that was such fucking massive win for me. Massive win. And you guys don't know how hard I've been trying to change. So changing someone's perspective and mentality, it takes years.
Right.
So I am super glad that it's been working well for me now.
Well, if we're talking about firing people, I fired all my VAs as well. I guess it isn't something to brag about, but I fired all my VAs except my floater, who has been with me since last September. And the reason why I fired everyone else is because as you guys can possibly imagine, I'm super lenient. I didn't request or require a lot, and that was my mistake. That truly was my mistake. It was my downfall too. It was my downfall, but I got to build a team from scratch. But this time, as opposed to hiring people with just no experience, I look forward to hiring 2 more VAs, more towards the end of September, beginning of October. So for Q4, one completely fresh and new VA, and just one more with experience, and then just go and see where that goes.
Right.
So should be good.
Awesome. So with that being said, I hope everybody enjoyed the updates. Let's get right into the topics that we wanted to talk about. So
Hold on, I do have a question.
What's up?
Credit checker, where are you?
Oh, you know what? It's funny that you asked that because I didn't update you guys, but so quick update on where I am.
Eddie, can you believe this guy right now?
right?
Can you believe this guy right now?
I was like, dude, did he remodel his entire room? What the fuck happened?
He's not in his room. He's not in his kitchen because I don't see Tide.
You don't see that.
Oh wait, so where are you? Like,
Yeah, I mean, like, oh, I can't believe, like, I totally forgot about this. So, like, I'm not home.
oh my god! Listen to this guy.
I'm not actually home. So what ended up happening is that my mom, she basically takes care of this house, so she cleans it and stuff, whatnot. So the homeowners are not actually here; like they're on vacation to Colorado, basically free housing. So we're just like taking a look over it, and we're staying here. It's in the Pacific Palisades, so if you guys know, it's like it's a very nice area. So of course, this is not my home, but
I was about to say, damn, your place looked popping all of a sudden.
I know, right? Imagine if all of this was like new renovations and stuff, but no, it's not my home. But
Got a big old torpedo in the back.
Mhm. There we go, yeah. But I forgot to update you guys. I totally forgot.
God damn.
That's
Well,
the second time we get something major.
yeah, come on, man.
I know, right? Oopsies.
Can you tell us a little bit about the torpedo in the back?
The torpedo.
The big green torpedo, is that what caused the Maui fires? Yeah. Is that too far or what?
Too far, yeah. Oh my goodness, bro. Like it's sad to see like us being, like travel enthusiasts, it's really sad to see, like the fires in
Yeah.
Maui, Lahaina, like it's
Oh my goodness.
yeah.
That
Yeah, sorry about the joke. To be honest, sorry about the joke. I do apologize sincerely. The thing about that is, I guess there's been a list of very popular elite uh, A-class celebrities and just uh, wealthy people in the world that have and own properties in Maui. Sure enough, with these quote unquote fires, let's get canceled, guys. How is it that houses and cars are both melting and burning, but the trees aren't? You know, make that make sense to me.
Wait, what do you mean? The trees are not melting?
Trees are not burning. Trees are not burning,
What
despite there being. Yup.
what the fuck?
So again, make that make sense to me. But
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
let's go ahead and talk about the topics.
Let me get my tinfoil hat real quick. Hold up.
Yeah, the tin foil for the torpedo in the back.
Ándale, ándale. All right, so yeah, the topics that we wanted to cover is all right. Guess let's just start with the first one that we were talking about. Okay, why billionaires shouldn't exist? Eddie Mercado, you wanted to bring this up. Why do you believe billionaires shouldn't exist?
Yeah, so crazy enough, I was uh I was reading an article, or I think I was watching a video, and they did state that the average billionaire does make $3.5 million per hour, or at least the big tech guys make $3.5 million per hour. So to me, I understand, since we're all entrepreneurs, we say, hey, you know what? Yeah, we each have 24 hours in a day. That's each of us, correct? But how many hours can we actually leverage per day, correct? Well,
Right.
that's based off of how many employees you have working for yourself. So let's say Eddie Garcia has 1,000 employees, right? And they each work 8 hours per day. He's leveraging 8,000 plus however many hours he decides to work, correct? But that's not the case with these billionaires, right? They have maybe tens of thousands, if you guys want to challenge that, correct? I'm not going to name any of these big tech guys. We know who we're talking about.
Right.
And sure enough, and again, making $3.5 million on average per hour. How many billionaires during COVID? How many billionaires were created over big pharma from through big pharma over during COVID? Around 26 brand new billionaires. And the thing that irks my shit with that specific vocabulary is that a lot of them have this thing where when they pass, they're going to donate half of their wealth to charitable organizations or something of that nature, correct?
Right.
Well, the thing is, like, even if you spent, let's say, $50 million, $100 million a day, you're still not going to run out of money. So
No.
why does so it's like a tick, it's not necessarily a ticking time bomb. It's just a ticking bomb for you. Everybody, like, one of the craziest things I've ever heard is time of death is uncertain, but death is certain. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna run that back. Time of death is uncertain, but death is certain. Why are you waiting to pass away? At least for me, I would dislike myself if I was a billionaire. I'm not. It's not my goal. I'm okay making a few million a month, a few million a year, correct? But it isn't my goal to become a billionaire. I would truly not like myself if I ever became a billionaire. Matter of fact, I would make it my goal not to be a billionaire. I'm doing such a good job right now. No. So thing the thing about becoming a billionaire, that just means that donating $1 billion can solve world hunger. Losing 1 billion isn't going to is un pelo del gato. You know what I mean? It's a
Mhm.
drop in a bucket for a lot of people. Uh, I don't want to talk about this or bring this up, but a few years ago, somebody made the stupid decision of creating a GoFund for this specific Kardashian. I'm not going to say names, to make her the youngest billionaire to ever live. Now, I don't know if you guys heard about that, but the answer is actually quite obvious. They raised a couple $1 million in the course of a few days or maybe even a few hours. And somebody came out, of course, with the video stating, why are people donating money to make one person wealthier than they already are? You know, to me, again, I would love to see the impact that I would have in donating wealth that I'm not ever going to spend. In the event that I do come across making $100 million if in my lifetime, I think that's going to serve generations after generations after generations, so that the generations are completely well off, completely taken care of, right? And truth be told, making 100 million in my lifetime for something that I do is easily attainable. Of course, it takes a lot of work, a lot of dedication. I'm also 27. You guys say I'm 26. I don't like odd numbers. I wish I was 26, but I am 27, you know, just keeping it even.
Yeah.
I think that's because you guys, the both of you guys, truly know how far and long my arm reaches when it comes to my generosity, right? So again, what this boils down to is, what's up with all the hoarding? What's like, that's like my biggest reason. I think it's so beautiful to create an impact on somebody
Okay.
that has it so difficult. So
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Which is super funny that you're mentioning this now, because that's going to transition to the next topic after this. However, let's stick to this topic. I mean, would you say, like, for example, it's super funny that I mentioned his name before the podcast we were talking before the podcast. Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast makes a stupid amount of money, and then he has channels and a philanthropy, and he's curing people's eyesight. He's doing this, he's doing that, right? He is donating a shit ton of money, and you guys can actually see video proof of all the money he's spending because of all the good he's doing, right? Now, can those videos be fake? Sure. But I really don't think they're fake, right? I don't think he's like faking it. Now, and it's super crazy how there's people out there that are mad that he's doing this. They're like, oh my God, like, I can't believe he's making a video of him helping blind people. How dare he make money off of this and blah, blah, blah. I was like, I don't think people realize that he's making, like, that's how he's being able to help people, right? Being able to make the video. Now, do I believe, that it's his responsibility to help those people out? No, it's not. Like, for example, you're right. He shouldn't exist as a billionaire to be able to help all those people out. We as a society should help those people out and care about our fellow neighbors, but we don't, right? And we have created a system where people like that can be created, right? And then thankfully, he's one of the few that actually does shit with his money like that, right? What do you think? What are your viewpoints on Mr. Beast and all the money he's spending like crazy, making videos and doing all that stuff?
Yeah, well, surprisingly enough, for me, I always wanted to create a YouTube channel and call it DGD, and that stands for Do Good Deeds. And what I wanted one of the very first videos to be, I might actually still do this, it's just me going on a jog and picking up trash as I go. Oh, I see a Skittles bag, I pick it up, this, and that. Of course, it's not going to get views, but I know where I got this idea was, I'm not saying this is a sport. Sorry to, my apologies for deriving the attention to something else, but I can promise you there's a transition. There's a tie-in.
Okay.
I believe it's actually in San Diego where they do this a lot, where like 22 to like 30 people get together like at 5 p.m. and get a trash bag and they start running in public and they start picking up trash. Now, again, it isn't a sport, but they try to see who picks up the most trash. There isn't necessarily a winner just because somebody picked up more trash or somebody picked up, you know what I mean? The
Yeah.
goal is to make, the goal is to do a good deed. And of course, with the views comes monetizing, with the monetizing comes money, and the money comes doing projects, bigger projects, and bigger projects. That's what I wanted to do. So DGD, do good deeds, obviously sell merch and donate 100% of the proceeds to doing good deeds, just to get closer and closer and closer. That's one of the examples. Another example was somebody went to the Philippines. I don't know if you guys actually saw this. I believe it was somewhere in Southeast Asia, and they spent around, I don't know if it was like $65,000, but there was a group of people, and they were walking, and they noticed that there was like a lake that was super, super clogged. And what they started to do was they started to hire some of the people that were around to pick up trash. And the military actually got involved.
Oh, wow.
In the good way. They started to get like heavy machinery to dig out like all these plants, because these plants were like really like, it just looked nasty. And I think they cleaned out like a forest or something like that. I'll find the video, right? But doing a good deed, correct? So they spent a shit ton of money, but that's like doing good deeds. Before Mr. Beast, and here's the transition. I believe Mr. Beast became popular for multiple reasons. Obviously his thumbtacks, his videos, his creativity, his stupid face, his retarded smile. You know what I mean? And the reason why I say that, truly, like, I don't really like the dude because I've heard very negative things. I don't know him. I haven't met him, right? I've just heard that he isn't as nice as he seems. And I can also see that. I can see through his bullshit. I think it's just a facade, correct? But before, he used to become popular over giving somebody $10,000 just because he accidentally bumped into this person's Corolla. Even though the car isn't worth $10,000, which is what the guy was explaining. Hey, you know what? You don't have to give me $10,000. That's literally like a $35 dent. It's okay. It's okay. You know, here's $10,000. Go buy yourself a new car. In essence, like when I would watch that, I would actually feel as a there's points of views as well. Like some people might take it as disrespect. Somebody with my pride, I'd be like, nah, just fix the debt. I don't give a shit, right? Versus this person could have probably went out to go get himself like a nicer car, correct? Mr. Beast became popular for doing outlandish shit, correct? And that got more and more eyes, but now it is respectable, despite the fact that, yes, I do not like him. It is respectable what he is doing with his money. That's respectable, correct? So, and again, you know, good that he is doing something with his money now, how he's a billionaire. I don't see how. I can see that. I don't remember who wanted to buy his YouTube channel, but they did offer him $1 billion and he turned it down. So that's pretty ballsy, correct? He could have literally started a completely brand new YouTube channel. I'm sure somewhere in the writing it would have said, hey, you cannot create no more YouTube channels or no more this, no more that, right? But that's just me. At its core, I gotta respect.
Yeah, because I mean, like, if you sell your YouTube channel, I mean, like, at the end of the day, you're the face of the company. You're the face of the YouTube. Like, the reason why people are going to your YouTube channel is because they want to see you, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why he's worth so much money, because no matter what business he starts now, it's going to be a multi-million-dollar business. If he decides to sell pills tomorrow, it's gonna be it's fuck my pillow, right? It's gonna be Mr. Beast pillow is gonna be the best pillow out there, right? So my thing. Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I do know right now that he put out like a candy bar and socks, and they're both doing like, as you can possibly imagine, they sell out within like seconds. I heard about his hamburger joints, his ghost kitchens. That's a scam.
He's suing.
I,
Yeah, he's suing the Ghost Kitchen company.
well,
Yeah.
there that goes. But
I already knew that venture was going to go south. The reason why is because of my experience with the restaurant business, and you cannot maintain consistency with ghost kitchens because they're all owned by and operated by different people, and they can't. First of all, they cannot get the same products that each. So there's going to be inconsistency of product. There's going to be inconsistency of the way that is being prepared and done, right? Because there's no formal training, there's no standards being upheld, and this is why there are so many bad, shitty reviews. And to be honest with you, he should have known that from the beginning, right? Before doing this business venture with them. But hey, I totally understand. Hey, I totally understand how a YouTuber may not know that shit about the restaurant business. I know that about the best restaurant business because I've been in the restaurant business before, right? So when I heard that come out, I was like, that's not going to work out. I wanted it to work out because it's Mr. Beast. I want the best for I don't hate on people, but at the same time, it's like I could already tell that shit was not going to go well. So it did not surprise me when I heard on the headlines that he was suing the Ghost Kitchen company, and then the Ghost Kitchen company then did a countersuit against Mr. Beast. So we'll only find out how it plays out. Apparently, he hasn't made a single penny off Beast Burgers, so we'll see how that goes. But tying back to the why Billionaires shouldn't exist, I actually want to answer the question that, like, why do they actually exist right now, especially in America, right? I've covered this before in a previous topic about, BlackRock, Vanguard, and all that stuff. But if you guys really take a look at, how billionaires are being created, is they're being created by the equity wealth that they hold on certain companies, right? So I tell people that they got to really realize that, again, hard work is not the only thing that is required to become wealthy here in America. There is rules to this. There's rules to this, and learning how the IRS places rules and how Congress plays rules. Because here's the deal, you guys. You guys got to realize, like, for example, we know all, if you guys are ever in this, like, in the community of like stock trading and stuff like that, like if you guys are, if anybody here watching or listening has ever watched stock trading videos, you would eventually have heard of Nancy Pelosi being the best investor of all fucking time, right? Nancy and Pelosi are one of the US congresswomen, right? Democratic congresswoman, has been the best stock trader of all fucking time, beating out Warren Buffett, beating out some of the best, beating out some of the best investing firms in the world, right? How come this old lady fucking probably doesn't even know how to use a computer can beat out all these major companies who have trillions of dollars under management, who have thousands of employees, every single type of software, analytics, they look at reports, they all do all X, Y, and Z shit, right? How does she beat them out? She must be doing insider trading. There's no fucking other way. Like, right?
Eddie, you're missing one critical fact. Besides the fact that she's a congresswoman, you forgot to mention that she was a former speaker of the
Yeah.
House.
So she was the former speaker, but here's the thing. Well, that matters and that doesn't matter at the same time. The reason why is because once you are elected into Congress, you can join almost any committee that you want. So if you want to join the firearm committee, if you want to join the scuba diving committee, like I'm just fucking making shit up here, but if you guys want to join committees like green energy committee, fossil fuel energy committee, or like this type of committee, right? Those boards, so they are electing legislation, and then they're appointing companies to to benefit from those legislation. Like, for example, if the Greenhouse Committee wants to go ahead and pass legislation and say, hey, we want to allocate $20 billion to this new type of solar energy, right? Well, guess what? Then they're going to reach out to certain companies that they already have contracts with, right? And be like, hey, you're our putty, you own a solar company, right? Hey, we got this new thing. Like, let's give you this contract. We just gave you an extra $20 billion. Here you go. Boom, in your pocket from government, from our tax dollars, right? To those companies. And then that's how it works. And then guess what? Then those congressmen, they go to their house, they go call their brother-in-law, they call their wife, husband, whatever, and then they trade us. Then all of a sudden you see them like fucking buy stock in that company, like literally a day after, a day before. Like, it's the craziest shit. Before they tell the media, they go ahead and do this. Like when COVID happened, a few days before it was announced here in America that we were going to go lockdown and all that stuff, so many people fucking dumped shares of everything. They like took their money out. They were just dumping shares like a motherfucker, right? So first of all, you have Congress people that are, first of all, they're being bought out by major corporations to be put in their pockets, to be able to pass legislation that's going to benefit the Congress people and the companies they represent or they affiliate with. Then who owns all the major like leaders on almost every single industry of the economy? BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street, right? And this is why they own trillions. Dude, they technically have a monopoly on the entire economy. How can they own like 80% of all S&P 500 companies? That is ridiculous. I think it's about 80%. It's just like a ridiculous number. They own pretty much, or they're like the first stakeholders, which means that they are on their board, the community board, and they're able to tell the executives how to run and manage the company. So you are having now, I don't think like Congress or like thing is like, I don't think that like people think like there's conspiracy theories and think like all of Congress and all of companies are like in this one evil Zoom call every single Tuesday at 9 p.m. right? Like it's not like that elaborate speak, but there are some people like who are pulling big strings because they have a lot of leverage. And this is how billionaires are being created, because once you have a great idea, if you guys learn acquisitions, if you guys learn about private equity and how companies gain enterprise value, you guys can make a company that's only making an X amount of money, but because it's in the right industry, like you guys do 10x that. So now the value of the company is 10x that, and you guys can sell that. Now take all those millions of dollars that you're going to do and start another company or buy another company, 10x that company out by putting the right CEOs. Like the revenue changes. Now that fucking company is worth a shit ton more money. And then you do the same thing all over again, right? If I were to go back from the beginning from kind of what I know now, I wouldn't even start my own company from the beginning. I would just go buy an existing company, put the right people in charge, and then fix and flip that like a real estate deal, right? Make my millions and millions of dollars doing that, right? So if we were to understand like why do billionaires exist, and if we believe that billionaires should not exist, then we should be seeing what the fuck can we actually do, because just shaming billionaires for being billionaires is like, bro, they're just playing the system. Like they had an idea. Some people just become billionaires by accident. Like they just keep going and going and growing and growing and growing. And like, holy shit, this just became a thing. Like, for example, when Elon Musk became a billionaire, or like the most richest, like the wealthiest man in the world, he was like, oh, he tweeted it out. He's like, oh, so this happened. And then he was like, all right, I'm gonna continue working. Like that's what I'm gonna continue doing, because it's just a fucking stupid ass title, right? So if we truly believe that they should not exist, we need to be looking at how Congress works and how our laws are structured, so that we make sure that the benefits of wealth are being evenly distributed, or they're being easily better distributed through our population, right? because we can see that there is a big disparity with the people that have a shit ton of money and the people that don't have anything, right? There's no middle class. It's being wedged out. And it's like people with lower education, people with less, with like being worked to the bone, because a lot of these people, they're immigrants. There are people who are just fucking hard ass workers, but they don't know where to put their hard work effort into because they're not educated. And here's the thing, super fire quote that I hear from other people is, or from one of my business mentors, is problems cannot be solved at the level of consciousness at which they were created, right? So if you have a current problem right now that you cannot solve, you need to elevate your level of awareness or consciousness. So go learn some shit, and then you're going to have the right knowledge to be able to fix your problems, right? And here's the deal. At the end of the day, whether we believe that billionaires should exist or should not exist, I think at the end of the day, no one's there to save you, and you need to do everything in your power to fucking make it happen either way. Does it suck? Yes. Is it fair? No. Are you still gonna fucking be successful? Let's make it happen. Yes, you will. Let's do it. Right? So we're not here to make excuses. I know they shouldn't exist, but fuck it. We're gonna do it anyway. So I want to be a billionaire just in the sense of like, I want to have the knowledge to be able to become one. But I think I would want to be able to, I want to be a champion of my people. I want to help my community. I do not want to be a billionaire, like having $1 billion in my pocket, but I want to have the massive influence and connections to be considered a billionaire.
Yeah, 100%.
There we go. And yeah, really quick, just to add on that topic of why do billionaires exist, I think much of it, we've already touched most of these points, but I think much of it comes down to like the system. It's a broken system that we currently live in. Eddie Garcia was talking about how the former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, she holds lots of power, or did hold, not anymore because she's not the leader. So she holds lots of power. They have lots of intel that we don't know. They can make trades based off of knowledge that is gonna come out, like, I don't know, like let's say tomorrow, maybe a week from now. They know what's gonna happen, or they have an idea, of what's gonna happen, and for them it's easy. They can just say, oh, like we have some blind, I'm not sure what the name is called, but like basically like they're able to like hold like some sort of trust where they can manage accounts so-called blindly, but
Yeah, it's like a management firm. Like, let's say, hey, Alexis, you have your management firm. Here, let me give you my money every single month. Here's monthly payments. You invest in however the fuck you want. I don't know how you're gonna invest it, but you make a percentage based on how well it performs. So you're gonna do good investments, obviously. But I mean, it doesn't really work that way.
exactly.
Because they I mean, I think they have like people have been like questioned about it before, but it leads nowhere. Like the charges always get dropped. No congressperson have ever been charged of, insider trading, and they're never going to do it. And then they're never going to pass laws to regulate themselves. They're not. Again, why? Because it's the same thing situation that happened when my employee Sue. She had too much fucking power. She had too much power and she abused it. Why? Because that's what humans do. Dude, trust me, I understand it. If I was the congressperson, fuck it, I would do it too. If 99% of all my buddies were doing it, hey, what? I'm playing the system too. Fuck it. You guys have the power to do the same thing. Come run to be a congressperson. Let's go make some money together. Fuck it, right? I totally understand it, right? We're leveraging everything we have in our life in order to be successful and to be well off. So I get it. And here's the thing, you guys. It's also not just to pick on Nancy Pelosi. It's like this is a very bipartisan issue. Like both sides, both Republicans and the Democrats are being insider traders like a motherfucker. Like they're trading like crazy and they're profiting. It's like, how the F do they have millions of dollars when they're supposed to be only making like a few six figures a year, right? But they have millions and millions and millions of dollars under their wealth. Like it's ridiculous. Now, am I saying that they should not be well off? Am I saying that they should not, take care and look after their family? Absolutely. I believe they should be. I think they should be well off. Absolutely. But when we are creating such a huge division and poverty, dude, how the fuck is it that in supposedly the wealthiest and the best country in the world, you go to San Diego, downtown San Diego, you go to downtown LA, you see homeless people like crazy, right? Which leads me to the next topic. How the hell do we help the homeless, right? So many programs out there, so many things. And that's our second topic. How do we actually help the homeless, right? So this, like a transition. If billionaires exist, there shouldn't be billionaires. These laws, corrupt politicians, I say corrupt, I mean like they're drunk off their juice, they're drunk off power. Totally understand it. But they are creating this big giant division. So Eddie, you also wanted to bring this up. Mercado, you want to bring this up. How do you want to help the homeless? How do you think would be the solution to help the homeless people, especially for our listeners who are here in San Diego, here in LA? Like, you guys know that this is a big major issue.
Well, there's an issue out here in Las Vegas too, but I must say that to the people that are born into less fortunate situations, or to the people that are, just drastically can't make it through because the system's crooked, as Credit Checker was saying, I feel for it, but there is literally zero empathy for the people that go homeless, that come here to Las Vegas to try to, one, strike it rich, or to become addicted to gambling. One, I understand that gambling shoots your dopamine levels like nothing before. I'm not going to say I was addicted to gambling, but there were like 2-3 weeks where I went hammy. I did super good at first, but then eventually it did bite my ass. Anyways, so in LA and San Diego and Las Vegas, homeless is a massive problem. The way I wanted to tackle it was by the time I make it and I'm financially well, not even financially stable, but financially well, uh here's another transition. I do know that it takes a hotel. It costs a hotel around $30 to house 5 guests in one room. So with that knowledge that I have, since hotels are my background, what I wanted to do was obviously start. I don't know if it's building a house or building a property or just renting a house, correct? And then housing 3 to 4, I don't want to say, but three to four homeless people there, because in essence, a lot of people are stuck there. And when people are holding out signs, unfortunately, and it says something along the lines of anything helps, God bless, I need a beer, or something like that, a lot of people like to rebuttal that by saying, go get a job. Well, first of all, in order for you to get a job, what is it that you need? You need hygiene and you need to look presentable. Then you need a pen, or in most cases, you need a computer to apply for a job or an application, correct?
Right.
But the very, very first thing, of course, is once you apply and once you're scheduled for an interview, is you need to look presentable. Hygiene is everything. If you're working at a restaurant, you need hygiene. You need to look clean, and you need to look. You need hygiene, because if you unfortunately look dirty, you're not going to get accepted, not even on your first date. So that's the point of like the house. Obviously, once things start to get going, the goal was to help people get out of that situation and potentially move out. If not, then as a school model, begin to grow the building or the house or whatever, build another room to be able to house another person, or so of course it would be like in a plot of land, correct? Eventually just grow it. And if people didn't want to move out, then just I guess start an invisible tab in the sense of trying to repay whatever, how can I say this, whatever utensils or whatever accommodations were made to you, but what did you get out of it? You got a helping hand, correct?
Right.
Of course, if this was to grow like a compound in a school model, there would be a cafeteria, there would be bathrooms, there would be like the place where everybody sleeps, the place where children get to play, the place, it's just stuff like that, just to help people get out. Now, that's just a dream, and that's in a perfect world, because the biggest issue is that if I was to get this started, if anything goes down, if somebody gets hurt in the house, if somebody overdoses, if somebody gets stabbed, I'm responsible for that, because I'm the one that put them in that location, in that situation. So it's correct.
Right. Yeah, because you're going to be responsible because you're the one who put them in that location. No, I get it. I get it. You shoulder some sort of liability.
And that's the difficult part, because to me, as stupid as it sounds, this was like throwback to like 3 or 4 years ago, to when I was watching the show The Walking Dead. Of course, like new tribes come, or more people come, and they get welcomed, and they're self-sufficient, and this and that, this and that. Of course, not from an apocalypse, but just like a compound. You get taken in, and everybody eats at the same place, everybody uh, showers in the same place, everybody this, and then you start a community. But the purpose and the main goal is to get people out of uh, poverty, or that poverty state, because a lot of times some people just need helping hand, they just need some form of juice, but the liability, the responsibility is too high. I don't think there's regulation in that sense, or there wouldn't be any regulation in that sense. But um, there's definitely rabbit holes that I would want to go down. I know we spoke about this. There's grants, specific grants that we could apply for and stuff like that. But of course, you have to create legal paperwork for nonprofit organizations, correct? Because at least for me, it would be a nonprofit organization. I don't want to make money trying to help people. I was just talking shit about how billionaires shouldn't exist.
You know, you mean you don't want to pay taxes of all the money you're gonna rack in now? Like,
There has to be obviously something in it for me. So if that's the evil side to it,
right.
that's going to help me eliminate all the taxes, then so be it. But then this is the thing where it's like, or the thing about like the thing with Mr. Beast. Yeah, he's making a shit ton of money. Money he probably doesn't even deserve, but he's doing a good deed with it, correct? So that's probably like, that's where it's going, and at least it's pointing in that direction.
No, I totally get it. I would do it sort of the same way. I will start a nonprofit and then hopefully see if I can get funding from the state, especially here in California, because I'm pretty sure they allocate certain amount of money to homelessness. But I believe, again, I mean, I believe in, from what I just think now, I haven't done any research on this, but I believe that it's most likely just organizations that are taking the money and they're doing somewhat of help. However, they're not doing enough, because they realize that if they actually do the job right, they'll be done in a year or two, and then they will cease to exist. So they need the problem of homelessness to persist, so that they can keep doing that, helping homelessness, and keep making money off of them from the state. Right. So this is like my only reason why, like, I feel like shit, there's certain things that shouldn't be left to the invisible hand of like the economy and shit like that, right? Because I see the, like, well, shit, I can make so much money. Like, okay, if they're allocating, $1 billion to homelessness every single year, and I get a $50 million contract from the states to help San Diego, Well, shit, that's $50 million every single year. If I allocate all those $50 million correctly, I should be done with homelessness in San Diego in like 1 or 2 years. And then what? I will not be making $50 million every single year. Or I'd be shady and I go ahead and um I'd be shady and I talk in fucking $45 billion and only spend $5 million into actually helping out homeless, right? And then I keep this facade for the next 25 years. So to be honestly, I feel like that's probably going on because I see it so often in other industries. It's like the reason why, like again, I don't want to see in that conspiracy theory, but this is why, like shit, think about why do you think we have such a lack of doctors in America? Why? Because the American Doctor Association, or right, they are restricting the amount of residents each university can have per year. So they can only graduate a certain number of doctors per year to be able to increase the rates of doctors of that, or for people who are already doctors, right?
Again, to keep the demand up.
Yep, to keep the demand up and supply low. So it's like I just see capitalism like, yeah, this is why we have billionaires, this is why we have homelessness, this is why it's dividing people, working class and ultra wealthy individuals. And unfortunately, we have to learn to play the game because we are not just one person is not enough to change the system. And we need to take care of the people we love. We got to take care of our community. The only way is to play the game and give back to the community, right? And try to make a difference and being able to level everybody's up awareness about what's going on and then demand change.
Yeah, and I mean for me, both of you guys were talking about. I think there's several ways to go about fighting the homelessness problem, right? You guys, for the most part, were talking about. I want to call it, actionable solutions, right? So, in other words, you're going to do, you're going to say, for example, like use hotels to like start housing some homeless people, or things that you can physically do, to prevent homelessness or to solve homelessness, right? I want to kind of like talk about something that we didn't really talk about is how can we prevent it, like it's one thing, that we can do right now to like literally do right now to like start solving homelessness, but it's another way to like start preventing it from the first place, and I think one of the main things is to like I want to say it's to like basically inform people, like teach people ways of how to like stop from becoming homeless, right? Because a lot of these issues or come from, there's a lot of reasons why people become homeless, right? But some of those issues can be because of drug use, because of mental issues, and even with like preventing homelessness, it's there's always going to be homeless, like homeless people. It's just a sad reality, but it's going to be like it's going to greatly reduce homelessness if we can like teach them like ways, for example, like that are not taught in schools, for example, like credit, like if people can make use of credit, or if people can make use of the system that we're currently living in, because Eddie was talking about how the Doctors Association, like they basically like they rig the system to their favor, like if they
Yeah, so they went to Congress and they had Congress pass a regulation stating that there should only be a certain amount of doctors residencies in the universities per year.
yeah, exactly. So like, and it's not only with the Doctors Association, right? Like we're not going to call them out because it's like many other industries, many other associations that rig their own systems in their own favors, right? But like Eddie was talking, like if you can't beat the system, like join the system, become a part of the system, it's the sad reality that we live in, that unfortunately we don't live in a perfect system, or a system, that benefits everyone equally. So So what I meant by preventing homelessness is that we can, like learn ways to like be a part of the system rather than, fighting the system that we can keep on calling out, saying that it's corrupt, that so many issues with the system, but the reality is that fixing a system that is broken, it's gonna take forever, and it might not even, like it might not even get there in the first place. So might as well, like teach people like from a very young age, like, hey, take steps to like learn how to manage your money, or take your health, prioritize it, like just many of these small things, like it might be unrelated like at first thought, how it relates to homelessness, but honestly, like it's just, like basically basic life skills that you want to start teaching like everyone, that way, we can prevent homelessness. So for me, that's one way of like preventing homelessness. It might not be like combating homelessness right now, but we can't forget, that we also have to prevent it in the first place. So that's my take, like on how we can fight
Yeah,
homelessness.
absolutely. And I totally agree. I think again, it's a lack of knowledge. So again, I'll go back to the saying, like your current problems cannot be solved with the same level of consciousness at which they were created. So these people are have a problem, homelessness. They need to level their awareness up, the level of consciousness to be able to then solve it. And that is through education, like financial education, right? Like you were stating, learning how credit works, how money works in America, right? All these things, because with the right knowledge, you can become extremely wealthy and very powerful. Just like this is why, like billionaires, if you take all their wealth today, they'll be billionaires again in 5 years, like because they know how to do it, right? And I was literally Googling while you were talking. And yeah, the main cause of homelessness can vary, but the some common factors include poverty, lack of affordable housing, unemployment, mental illness, and substance abuse issues. So I think especially with the last two, these are things that good screening and good education can help, right? Because even with good education, you get to learn, you get to level up your awareness, and then you are be able to be more aware of your surroundings and your feelings and stuff like that. You're able to learn more, right? You're able to then learn how to associate the feelings and emotions you're having and learn how to control them, right? Because when you also go to school, you have to play nice with others. As a kid, you got to learn how to associate and be friends with other kids, and right. So I think being social, learning life skills like communication, right? Maybe a mental illness can come also from a lack of communication because they don't know how to express yourself. So then, like the other thing is, so other contributing factors may include domestic violence, a lack of support networks. Again, all lacks of communication, like which are things that leaders and entrepreneurs are need and should exhibit, right? So no, man, I think this is a great topic. We can go dive way deeper into every single thing that we're talking about, and that's actually something I would love to do because I'm very passionate about being able to solve these problems. And I think it all comes back to one thing. Again, all the problems that mostly America is facing is because of the current system we have, how everything is being controlled by Congress people who are being pushed by the incentives and the of these huge corporations that BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street have control over. So guess what? Who controls the medical industry? They do. Who controls, the educational system? They do. Like so, like all these things that we keep talking about, it just literally, if we could just tie it back to one person, it's them. But we can't make excuses. We gotta, take action, and we gotta learn how to take control of the lives of the things that we can actually control and move forward like that. But actually, we had one more topic. However, I think this is good enough. This is a great point to stop. We gotta save this next topic for next time. But awesome. Again, you guys, I want to quickly remind you guys, first of all, you guys are beautiful. Thank you for staying until this time at the end. I want to remind you guys that we are having the networking event at La Neta. It's a restaurant in Las Vegas, August 30th. It's a Wednesday. It's going to be around what time is it going to be, Eddie?
I believe it's 7 to like 11.
Gotcha. I was going to say, hey, show up at 6. Be early, be there. You know, there's great food, drinks. To be honest with you, I think it was 6. I can't remember. But anyways, we would keep you guys updated anyways. But yes, 30, look out for our social medias. We're going to be posting the event there. We're going to be advertising about it there. So keep an eye out for that. And next time, we'll see you guys next time. We'll be dropping this tomorrow, 2 p.m. every single Thursday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Peace.
Later, guys. Let's go.